Hello, dear friends, myself Dr. Surekha Jaiswal, Head Department of Physics, Moreshwar Arts, Science and Commerce College, Bhokardan. Today we will see electricity and magnetism, course code number PHY 105, paper number 5, semester 2nd. Now, in chapter number 2, electrostatics, contents are introduction, Coulomb's law, electric field due to a point charge, flux of electric field. Now, electrostatic is the branch of physics that deals with the phenomenon and properties of stationary or slow moving electric charges with no acceleration. Since classical theory, it has been known that some materials such as amber attract lightweight particles after rubbing on the silk cloth. Electrostatic phenomenon arise from the force that electric charges exert on each other. Such forces are described by Coulomb's law. Even though electrostatically induced force seem to be rather weak, the electrostatic force between that is an electron and a proton that together make up a hydrogen atom is about 40 orders of magnitude stronger than the gravitational force acting between them. It is common experience that when two bodies are rubbed together, then both bodies begin to attract light bodies like small bits of paper, cotton, feathers of bird, straws, etc. Such phenomena were studied by ancient Unani philosopher Thales about 2500 years back. He showed experimentally that when amber is rubbed with woolen cloth, it acquires the property of attracting light bodies. When a glass rod is rubbed with silk, it also acquires the same property of attracting light bodies. On acquiring this property, the body is said to be electrified or the body is said to be charged electrically. We know that there are two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge. Unit of charge is coulomb. When two ebonite rods are rubbed with flannel separately, both rods get charged, and when brought closer, they repel each other. Similarly, when two glass rods are rubbed with silk separately, both rods get charged, and when brought together, repel each other. When ebonite rod rubbed with flannel and glass rod rubbed with silk are brought closer, they attract each other. It means that the charges on ebonite rod and glass rod are of different nature. The glass rod is said to be positively charged and ebonite rod is said to be negatively charged and flannel positively charged. The charges on both of them are equal in magnitude but opposite in nature. Similarly, when glass rod is rubbed with silk, both acquires equal but opposite charges. The SI unit of charge is coulomb and it is denoted as C. The name positive and negative charges were given by American scientist Benjamin Franklin in 1750. The names of positive and negative charges are purely conventional. Also, we know some properties of charges like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Also, charge is conserved, that is, it can neither be created nor destroyed, but it may simply be transferred from one body to another body. Also, charge is quantized. Charge on a body remains unaffected by motion. For example, charge on electron remains minus 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, whether it is at rest or moving with any velocity. Now, see Coulomb's law. Statement of Coulomb's law. The force between 2 points is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Now, the direction of the force will be along the line joining the two charges. The force is attractive if the two charges are of opposite nature, and it is repulsive if the two charges are of the same type. The force depends on the nature of the medium in which the given two charges are situated. See in figure, let Q1 and Q2 be the 2 point charges situated at point A and B, separated at a distance r, small r, as shown in figure, and r cap is the unit vector in the direction from A to B. Then the force F12 exerted by the Q1 on charge Q2 is F12 equal to C into Q1 Q2 upon R square into R cap, where C is constant in SI unit. Now C equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. When the charges are situated in vacuum, here epsilon 0 is called the permittivity of free space. The measured value of epsilon 0 is epsilon 0 equal to 8.85418 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulomb square per Newton square per meter square. This gives C equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, that is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 per coulomb Newton meter square. When there is vacuum between the two charges, Coulomb's law can be written as F12 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square into R cap. Force exerted by Q2 on Q1 is equal and opposite to that exerted on Q2 by Q1, so that F12 equal to minus F21. If the charges are situated in a medium of permittivity epsilon 0, then the force between the charges is F12 equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square into R cap. So now dividing equation 2 by equation 3, we get F12 upon F12 m equal to epsilon upon epsilon 0 equal to epsilon r. Epsilon r is called the relative permittivity of the medium. It is defined as the ratio of the permittivity of the medium to that free space. An older name for epsilon r is the dielectric constant of the material. Epsilon r is a dimensionless quantity. The value of epsilon r for air is 1. To distinguish epsilon from epsilon r, we call the former the absolute permittivity of the material. The unit of epsilon r from in equation 2, if q1 equal to q2 equal to 1 and r equal to 1, we have f equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 upon r square. So putting q1 q2 equal to 1 and r equal to 1, we get f equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9, 1 into 1 upon 1 square. So f equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. The SI unit of charge is the coulomb. A coulomb is defined as the quantity of charge which, when placed at a distance of 1 meter in air or vacuum from an equal and similar charge, experience a repulsive force of 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. A coulomb is also defined as the amount of charge that passes through any cross section of a wire in 1 second. If there is a current of 1 ampere in the wire, now see electric field. If we place a test body carrying a positive electric charge Q near a charged rod, an electrostatic force F will act on it. We speak of an electric field in this region and represent it by a vector field. E is defined by E equal to F upon Q. Electric field at a point is defined as the force that acts on a unit positive charge placed at that point, that is electric field. The direction of the vector E is that of the vector F. The SI unit for the electric field is the Newton per Coulomb or Volt per meter. Now equation 1 may be written as F equal to Q into E. The force F exerted on a charge Q at a point where the electric field is E equal to the product of the electric field and the charge. Now we can find out the dimension of electric field E. That electric field E is given as E equal to F upon Q. So we know the dimension of force, that is in square bracket dimension of force is m l t raised to minus 2 and dimension of charge, that is in square bracket a into t. So we can find out dimension of electric field E equal to m l t raised to minus 2 upon a into t. So that is equal to m L t raised to minus 3 a raised to minus 1. That is dimension of electric field E. Now for a configuration which has a number of discrete stationary charges, the net electric field at a point is the vector sum of the individual electric field due to each charge. Thus E equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 dash dash equal to summation of EI, that is E equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 upon q1 square into Ri R1 cap plus q2 upon q2 square into R2 cap plus q3 upon q3 square into R3 cap plus so on. E equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 summation of qi upon qi square into Ri cap I varying from 1 to n. For a continuous charge distribution, the electric field E at any point is given by E equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 integration of dq upon q square into r cap. Now electric field due to a point charge. See figure A, if Q is positive and if Q is negative as shown in figure B. The electric field due to a point charge. Let P be a point, see in figure, P be a point lying in vacuum at a distance r from a point charge Q, lying at the point O as shown in figure. Let a test charge Q0 be placed at point P. According to Coulomb's law, the force F acting on Q0 due to Q is given by F equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 upon R square into R cap. So the electric field at a point P is defined given by the force per unit test charge. So E equal to F upon Q0, that is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square into R cap. The direction of E is along the line joining O and P, pointing outward if Q is positive and inward if Q is negative. Now, flux of electric field. Consider a closed surface S as shown in figure. See the closed surface S here immersed in a non-uniform electric field. Divide the surface into small squares of areas ds. See in figure, that is that small surface of area, that is ds. We represent every such element of area by a vector ds whose magnitude is the area ds. The direction of ds is defined to be that of the outer drawn normal to the surface. Since the squares are very small, the electric field E for all points in the square is constant. The vector E and ds make an angle theta with each other as shown in figure. The electric flux d phi through the area ds is defined as d phi equal to E into ds equal to E ds cos of theta. d phi is greater or less than 0 depending on whether 0 is greater or less than pi by 2 respectively. The total flux through the closed surface S is obtained by integrating the above equation over the surface. Thus phi equal to rho integral of E into ds. The circle on the integral sign indicate that the integration is to be taken over the entire closed surface. The flux of the electric field is a scalar. Its unit is Newton per meter square per coulomb or volt meter. So that is about the flux of electric field, and also we can find out the dimension of electric flux. So for this we know that flux of dimension of flux of electric flux equal to in square bracket m l t raised to minus 3 a raised to minus 1 into l square. So that is equal to m l cube t raised to minus 3 a raised to minus 1. That is the dimension of electric flux. Thank you.